Board Meeting Wednesday. Beyond the boardroom. Beyond the boardroom.
Russ Reynolds, VP of Sales with FormPiper. I've got Matt Pridemore today with me. We're going to talk about retail software. Matt, what are your top 3 softwares you use in your business right now?
I would have to say probably DispatchTrack would be a big one that we use on the backside. On the front side, probably Podium, and then we've got some lending partners, and we're going through some tests now with FormPiper, and the technology side overall is just where the simplicity on that side is where my mindset's at right now.
Awesome. And with like DispatchTrack, what do they do for you? Like, tell me a little bit about the software.
Sure. They've done a tremendous job in the last couple of years of continuing to update, upgrade, and bring simplicity to our communications directly to our customers. I think for our customers, I would rather us over communicate than under communicate, and they make it simple at DispatchTrack with tracking where our delivery guys are, making sure that the correct product has made it onto the delivery trucks, so that the final mile goes well. And then, just the entire delivery process, making sure that the customers know, making sure the sales associates know, because, that's how they're getting paid is when the pieces are delivered. But overall, just making it simple in that communication process back and forth for the final mile.
Awesome. And one thing we like to tell retailers when they're evaluating software is that there's 3 boxes you want to check. If it checks one of the 3 boxes, you can look at buying it. If it checks all 3, you definitely want to get it. So those are, does it help your employees? Does it help your customers? Does it make or save you money? And it sounds like everything you said, DispatchTrack hits all 3 of those.
For us, they've got the app that's on their phone at the store level. The delivery guys have it that they can communicate back and forth. Obviously, we've talked about communication to the customers, but also the communication from sales associates to the delivery guys. That's that internal piece. That's a big piece there. Yeah. So it's definitely saving us money. It's definitely saving us time. It's making us more productive, and it's simple. And I think all of those things together make it a win-win for us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then, what about Podium? Tell me a little bit about Podium.
Yeah, for us, Podium has been a big game changer with our furniture stores. In another piece of that frontline communication directly to customers, but a lot of that has to do starts with the lead. So we all talk about the funnels where we're marketing, we're getting interest from the customers, we're figuring out we've got that back and forth, whether maybe they filled out a lead form or whatever, and then turning that into a personable conversation back and forth. So we get to that point where we're asking them questions, we're going through some discovery of what their wants are, what their needs are, and every bit of that, getting that towards the buying process. And Podium really does that for us. And we're keeping track of that communication. We're centralizing that. So we're saving money, we're saving time, and we're making sure that we are staying in contact with those customers where, Podium's there to remind us, that we do need to get back with that customer and make sure that we've got those touch points back and forth. But another piece to that game changer for us is the piece within Podium, specifically with Google. So we all know that Google reviews are huge.
Yes.
So pretty much everybody that we service, their search probably started on Google. And so they went through that process with their search, and Podium makes it really easy that we can send out text messages to those customers that once the buying process has happened, they've got their furniture, they're happy with it. We're filling out their experience of what their likes were, and we're shooting that review out there. So awesome. I think everybody that's listening or watching this has, when they've started that shopping process, they're looking at Google reviews.
Right.
I know I do it. I'm sure you do it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So, Podium does that really well for us, that, those customers are able to log in very quickly and hit a Google review. It takes 30 seconds. And so we're saving time, we're saving money, we're saving effort, we're centralizing everything.
Yeah.
And we're cutting costs.
Yeah. That's awesome. You said something about Podium. You're able to qualify leads with Podium?
Yes. So we can send out, whether it's QR codes, text messages of our different lenders.
Awesome.
And I mean, I think with your role, you're able to see, from a lending perspective, it's got to be simple for the customer.
Right.
It's got to be simple for the sales associate.
Yeah.
And it's got to be trackable.
Absolutely.
And if we get all three of those pieces all working together, it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
And that's another one of our big pieces.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've seen you on the sales floor before. I've seen you working. You're great at selling. I know one thing that you always talk about is reducing friction when it comes to sales. Just make it as easy as possible.
Right.
Sounds like Podium's definitely helping you guys do that.
Yeah, they've done a tremendous job, the communication piece of it. And the thing is, so many furniture stores are pulling you up to a counter, and they end up putting that divide between you where a customer's on one side and the sales associate's on the other side of the
Right.
counter. And when we talk about the friction piece to that, if we can eliminate that friction, we can do as much of this sales process with them. Maybe they've come in the store and they've made their mind up, but they had to leave.
Yeah.
Then we can communicate back and forth using that Podium and make sure that it's safeguarded, that information is on the app, so that we're wanting to protect customers' information. It's all contained in the app, so that we're not getting out to sales associates' personal text messages. And
Right.
so you're thinking about all these different pieces of what comes into play with sales associates to customers to management. And for our vision from a management perspective, to be able to look in there and be able to see, are our people asking the right questions?
Yep.
Are they doing the right things? And we is it trackable? Is it simple? Does it save money? Yes, yes, and yes. It's a big win.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I know we're just testing right now in a few stores with FormPiper, but tell me a little bit about it and your experience so far.
Yeah, the technology side for me so far has been what's been key. We've got some pre-qual pieces that have made it very simple, and I think the friction piece for customers, if you don't have like a waterfall process, then having to run a credit app, get a no, go back to
Right.
the customer, and what's the first thing
That's
that
tough.
happens? Well, you got declined on this
Yeah.
one, but let's try this one. Well, if we can simplify that, if we
Right.
can take the friction out of it, like you said a few minutes ago, the friction side of this, make it a frictionless transaction. And that's something that I've seen so far with FormPiper. They've done a really good job of it's seamless. It saves us time. It saves us money. It saves us effort. It saves us friction. And you get all those pieces flowing together. And when you get the lending side along with the lead generation side, and take that all the way through to the end of the buying process, to where the DispatchTrack side, I think then you add in some marketing pieces there
Right.
to go along with it.
Yeah.
And we could talk all day about other pieces, but with the top three, that's where I would go.
Awesome, man. And what about the team over there at FormPiper? How are
I mean,
those, how are those
those
guys?
guys are decent to work with, but missed a few. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're absolutely great. I will say, very honestly, probably of all the people that I have worked with across all spectrums, I've got to give a quick shout out to Chris McKee.
Yep.
That dude absolutely blows me away with how responsive he is. And I don't know if you guys are like sponsoring this. I really don't know how this is going, but I do have to say, when I text him, he answers promptly. When I call him, he answers the phone. When he says he's going to do something, he executes. And for me, from an ownership and management level, that's what I'm looking for. There's so many people in this industry that, I say it all the time. There's a lot of people that throw smoke bombs. They say,
Yeah.
well, we're going to deliver this to you and we're going to get it to you like this. And, this is how it's going to go. And you get down that time and it's like, well, we didn't execute. Well,
Right.
we didn't do this. Well, we didn't do that. And I've got to say, Chris has absolutely been a joy to work with. And to watch him, like when he says he's going to do something, he actually, he comes through with it. And he pushes, whether it's the lenders, for me, what I see in FormPiper is being kind of a liaison there of, seeing, the retailers are seeing what's going on in their world, and the lenders are seeing what's going on in their world. And when you've got a partner like that can be that liaison, you're go-between, you're mending the fences. And,
Yeah.
from my days in baseball, you're kind of standing out on that field, saying, hey guys, we need help over here. We need help over here. And when you've got a partner in your corner, that's a true partner of, well, what can we do to maybe buy deeper here? What can we do for a rebate here? What, how is this going to work? Like, that's not what we do every single day.
Right.
But, from that perspective, specifically with FormPiper, they've done a great job on that side of it.
Yeah, love hearing that. Chris definitely takes a lot of pride in what he does, and you can see that with his effort. So
Yeah.
But glad you've had a great experience with him, Matt. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
As always.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate all you guys do, and look forward to continuing to work with you.
Awesome, man.
All right.
Board meeting Wednesday. Beyond the boardroom.